Hey, what's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you guys enjoy the semi-annual stand around the kitchen with your loved ones and discussing what time it feels like and what time it should be, and if we lost an hour or gained an hour or which way the clocks moved. Ooh, twice a year, twice a year. Got to enjoy that. Got to enjoy that. But I enjoy the fact that we got Al in the house. Good morning to you. We got Albert, Bill, Brian, Corey. We got Julie. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jeff is in the house. We got Lauren, Miguel, Mike is Paul, Phil, Randy. We got Tim in the house. You guys are piling in. Great to see everybody again. Oh, my peeps out YouTube land. Good morning to Daniel. We got LC. Eliza's in the house. What is happening? Oh, my lurkers, the background. I see you, even though you're not commenting. I still see you, but just hit that like and subscribe button, and then we'll be all good again. We'll be all good. Got Honey Roy in YouTube land. Good morning to you. Whew, man. All right, let's take a look at this market. Kind of a wild little, I don't know, pre-market after hours. Not so much. I was looking for the SPY. We got a little bit of movement from right when we opened. Kind of had a one rando candle drop. We're just kind of chilling right now, but this day on Friday, either capitulation, and again, does that mean we fade and this is the big pullback and now we start talking recession? I think that's a little premature. I don't think we get there yet, but could we get a little pullback? Yeah, I think it's kind of needed. We're still pretty far away from some moving averages. At least at open today, not in a great place, although this is a retest gap. That's why I was looking at this pre-market up here. Because we opened, we kind of faded. We had this little double bottom in here as well. But then this could be already the retest. So today is a retest gap. I'm curious if that was already the retest that we had somewhere around 8:05 this morning, and then we dropped pretty quickly. Right now, again, at least from a developing VPOC stance, we are still kind of at the lows of the session for the most part. And then this is the one thing that I don't really like, even in the sense of like, hey, this is a major retest. I'm looking at the first resistance now at 5:10:15. So we have a lot of time. Lucian's in the house. What's up, Lucian? If we could get past that, I'll call it 5:10:20. Let's go with that. But 5:10:20, if we get past that, now we have a lot more room for that retest. But that is our first blaring us in the face type resistance that we're looking at right there. And to the downside, we still have a lot more room that has not really been retested. So next little level down becomes 408.45, 408, 508. It's the time change. 508.48, somewhere in that zone. And then next spot down is about 508.21. So still a little bit of room, but depends on where we're open. It looks like they're trying to climb it up a little bit already into that zone right now. So that's going to be the key spot for if I think we have a big retest today. And if we do, somewhere in the 512 range, I think would be 512.40, something like that. Maybe a little higher, 512.45. Somewhere up there, I think is where we could get to for this retest. Obviously, there's going to be a couple different levels, like the close of Friday, 511.73. I think we could get through it, and I think we can get to that range. But it all depends on where we open, and we're at that support where we're about 50-50, and we'll see. At least on the SPY, I'm going to need a stock that has a catalyst to it. I'm going to need something that has trading a little bit different, some kind of a news story behind it. And there is a few out there as well, but we'll get to those. We got the Qs. Otherwise, anything kind of inside day chop zone, something that hasn't really broken out yet. I don't think we're going to get help from the overall market, or at least, I mean, we could. We could. Obviously, there's a 50-50 chance that we go up higher, 50-50 chance we got lower. We got about the same range in each zone. So the risk to reward on either direction, if we flip the coin and it lands on heads, whether that's bullish or bearish for us, and then the market wants to cooperate, great. If not, anything kind of chop zone, anything kind of inside day today, I think will be a little rough until we get a little clearer picture of what this market actually wants to do from here. And yeah, we'll see. Qs are again retest gap. We have major support, I would say, or support resistance before 37.41, and right now that's going to be our resistance. So I really didn't want to see that number break down. We still have a decent support below us on this one, so 435.86, and this is a retest gap. Lots of volume came in. Again, another bearish engulfing candle. Miguel says, other than 2 to 3 wicks, the VIX is the highest it's been since November. Yeah. Yeah, we do have volatility starting to pile back in. So could get interesting. That's a clear double top bearish engulfing candle. So again, we have support still. There's going to be support all the way down. And we are still sitting right above a moving average, which we've had a few bounces. This one got a little scary. This was a little actual break below it, and we were able to gap up higher. I'm not sure if there was a CPI. I think we have CPI numbers today, not today, but this week coming out. So we'll have to see what happens on that. But this gap saved us. It got a little scary right there, but otherwise we've been using this moving average as some kind of decent support and staying above it. And now it looks like we have the ability to retest it even into that support. That's a perfect little retest of that. So watch 436 on the Qs. We start to break that. We do unfortunately have 423.87 is a VPOC that has not actually been retested yet, and that would probably be next target. So a lot of room to the downside if we cannot hold. That's a big if, but we'll see. TLT, a little bit of a gap up, starting to look a little better. We were kind of stuck in this chop zone for a minute on TLT, but it's starting to look a little bit better. Still got resistance about 96.09. We're above the 200 on a daily, and we do have plenty of room up on TLT to get to 98.10. So we'll see. That could look like a decent pullback, double bottom. Still making those lower lows, lower highs. So technically this downtrend is still pulling back, and we are in a little bit of chop. But resistance right above us, and then we should have some room higher on that one. If you guys got tickers you want to take a look at, throw those into the chat, and we'll pull those up. Bitcoin was moving. It did hit all-time highs as of, I think, this morning, I think. And I believe it did hit the 72K mark as well. So crypto is moving. Therefore, anything crypto related, the one I checked out, it looked like Riot was moving too, but Coin, I haven't looked at Mara yet, so we'll take a look at that together. But tweezer tops came in, at least on a 5-minute chart, and that would be topping out somewhere around 72,306. Rock's in the house. What's up, Rock? But we are definitely nicely trending up higher. The spot that I need to see on Bitcoin to hold 71,782. That was previous resistance. That should be our support. And looks like we kind of came down, broke, shot right back up into it. And we'll see if crypto wants to stay strong today, or if hopefully we don't have another 5K sell drop on randomly nothing. Let's take a look at Coinbase, which was gapping like $20 this morning. Did that one continue to hold? I guess I don't need these targets and entries and stops anymore. Take those off the chart. Coinbase, yep. So we're gapping up. What is that? $14, $15, $16? $16 in the morning. This was a green candle. I don't know how we want to play this one though. Green candle. Let's see if we got any pivots anywhere else that goes a little bit further back. I mean, I guess if you were purchasing back on December 27th, you've been a bag holder of this one for a while. Today gives you an opportunity to get out, but we're gapping above that little red candle. There's not a lot. Probably targets on this one. We could get to 278.48. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback. So Friday, with this gap up today, at least is a retest gap. Why it might not be a full retest though. Full retest to me would take me to the 255.27. even if we're coming into the close of Friday, that's going to be around 256.91. But that was a big wick. So anybody who did short felt really good about themselves picking the best spot ever to short. And if they decided to hold it and roll the dice for one more weekend, they're down a lot. So any of these people that got short that did not get out yet, they're trapped. Even pre-market, or what is this, after hours? This is pre-market. Pre-market, we actually did come down, or we did retest that wick. So we might already have this retest in here. And we got about $7 higher. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Probably have taken a break I would say 273.01. Get above that last little pivot, see if we start creating new higher highs. That would be an interesting spot to play it. My real stop would be down here somewhere 268.11, which is a little too far for me. So that's a wide spread. I'd want to come in at least maybe like 269, 270 as a stop as well. So we'll see. I'm gonna need some kind of technicals. I can't take a pre-market setup on that one at least, but we'll see. And then we'll take a look real quick at Mara. And again, I did see Riot was moving too. Mara usually trends, I think, a little bit better, or at least has more range, I think, than Riot. If I had to play either one, this one looks similar to Coinbase. This one's still a little bit more inside day though. This one I wouldn't mind. We are sitting kind of at resistance at 24.75. If you're gonna try this one, I wouldn't mind the wait on this one. See if we can get that pullback into 23.58. And again, maybe if we want to wait on Mar, we might do something similar to it. So probably be patient with both of those. But I do think there's something to watch. We got Boeing was in the news on Saturday. Never good. There's when they say all publicity is good publicity, Boeing hasn't figured it out. They have not figured out how to get any positive feedback whatsoever. It doesn't help though when a tire falls off the plane. I think it hit a car in Chicago. I mean, how do you tell the insurance company about that claim? So what happened was my car was just sitting out there, and then a plane wheel fell on it. I'm like, yeah, okay, insurance fraud. No way, this is real. But yeah, you got a tire falling off. So this again, it probably gets a little. We are into a little support. Support I'll be looking at probably about 193.91. Not a great news story, but I do think this one's actually probably one that fades higher from here. Comes in for this retest. This is a retest gap from Friday, and we're opening at a little bit of support. So watch to see if this 194 zone holds. If it doesn't, the next spot down to try would be somewhere around 190.92. But between the walls of the plane coming off, I think they bought the company. What was it, Spirit Airlines or Spirit Aerosystems, I think, who they said at least was responsible for the side walls just falling off during flight, so they can make that one better. I'm starting to think they should just buy the Lego company because I think they just make them out of Legos anyway. I'm not sure. You would think that they would have they've been around forever. It's not a new company. They should have some kind of manufacturing process. I would assume. I don't know. Uh Dow wants to take a look at Carvana, CVNA. And if you're gonna try that fade on Boeing, uh you're going to want to probably go for like a 1.2. You're not gonna want to be in that thing. I think the negative news will hold a little bit more dominant today, but trying to get something quick out of the gate, probably Boeing would not be a bad attempt, I think. Carvana. Mm, Not really doing too much this morning. Interesting high wave indecision candle. It held up better than the rest of the market, believe it or not. It held up better than SPY and Qs on Friday. But we do have a little bit of indecision candle on this one. So tad indecision. Do we go higher from here? That was a great gap though. Um, normally on a high wave candle, yeah, the break of it would make sense. But now you're going to be buying this thing essentially. Is this all time highs? No, it's not. It's not all time highs, but you're definitely buying it into the 52-week highs. So I don't love the breakout there. It obviously has a lot more room on it compared to if we could get back into some of these zones. I don't know how likely or available it is to do it, but somehow Carvana price was into the 376 range before. And if you're a big Carvana believer, you have a lot of room to the upside on it. It's got plenty of room. It looks like we have a nice double bottom base, and that was a fairly good gap, a little far extended from some of those moving averages. Most likely, I think today it probably just chops sideways. If it's going to be strong, you're not going to want to see this thing kind of break out of this daily low, hold some strength, and then see if it can outlast the market pullback if we are having one. Otherwise, I think the overall pressure from the market kind of cools things down, especially things that are sitting at 52-week highs. But we'll see kind of just a little bit of a chop. Again, if you do want to play it, there's a way to play this. I don't think it's going to be right at the open. I think you'd have to wait for some kind of either pop and double top and go short, quick plays back and forth. If you're shorting, the higher you can get to this $90 range, that's closer to the spot you want to be at. Otherwise, you're looking for maybe some kind of double bottom at the support 82, 84 into yesterday's lows. All right, let's take a look at Nvidia. You guys don't have a lot of tickers today. Very interesting. Yeah, you guys are quiet today. That hour change, I don't know. Maybe that did something. All right, we got Nvidia. So Nvidia with a little bit of gap down, still in the range of yesterday, but Friday. So still inside that candle. I would be looking at some type of resistance now at 880.94. Again, massive bearish engulfing candle. Support on this one comes into like 852.93. So we're kind of close to that support, first little support level. This is not a great looking candle though on Nvidia by any stretch of the imagination. And I think Nvidia was actually going a little bit crazy after hours too. So we had a dip down into the 850. We popped all the way back pretty much into that support 895.50 or that resistance. And potential double bottom higher lows if they could hold this. And again, the only thing that really gives me a great setup on it is just a risk to reward that if we maybe don't break down Friday, with our support so close. When I say so close, it's still $10 away, but for an $875 stock, it is not that far off. But I think we get some kind of continuation to the downside on this one, and we're probably looking for like 853, maybe bounce spot comes in 847.22. So we have some room. I would like to see this one get bought up first, and then watch this 881 zone, see if we make it into there, start struggling a little bit. Then I think we have a better short on this one. And I'm actually going to move this one a little bit higher. I think Nvidia could be fun to watch today. Let's see. But so far, nothing glaring. Crowdstrike. CRWD. There's a lot of interesting candles out there from that Friday move. This one is a gap and go, essentially a failed gap and go, right? We didn't really go. We came in more for the retest on this one. We're opening into a moving average now. We are opening into a support. I think this one gets bought up first. I think some bulls might be interested just trying to buy it off support. This was an earnings gap, right? Earnings gap. They did do pretty well. If we start to lose this zone where we're at now, I could see us getting back to 292.61. So 292.61. It's not the easiest to get there. We still have a couple of levels. The real last key level on this one would be about 311.47. And I think if you're going short on this one to get to that, that's going to be a struggle bus to break through. But I think again, this one might be a quick fade up higher. It does look like good support. We've already been to this support before. It makes it a little bit weaker. But right now we are still holding, and I think we have good risk reward. At least up to like 322, so that's still about $7 higher. We can make something happen on that one. Does this support go back any further, or is it no, this is it. That little support right there, which we've already hit. So the support's a little bit weaker, but maybe at open we get bought back up. I think a better spot to short would be closer to 322. So that would be into my targets if I was to go long, trying to play a quick fade on it. All right, we got Meta, the Mets. I don't even see the pre-market. There's the pre-market. Uh-huh. It is gapping down. We didn't have a bearish engulfing with the close, but it was bearish engulfing in terms of where the wick comes in. We do have a little bit of a potential bull trap wick up there as well. This one, this candle is more inside. Huh. I think just because this candle's red, and I don't know if we get the fade on this one. We're at a little bit of support. So somewhere around 397. I'm telling you, it's that hour change. 497.50. Should be support. So if we're opening there, targets on this one. Probably, I don't think we get back to this 505.80 today. I think that would be a little bit of a stretch. 501.87. And I think we might have some shorts looking to come in, or at least anybody who got into this candle long, they might have their opportunity to try to get out and see if we could get that little bit of a rollover. But yeah, I am leaning a little bit more short today. I think at the open though, we might get some retest out there. Every time we've had dips, and we haven't seen it so far in this one. It's only been one real day. We'll see what today comes and brings, but so far it's always been by the dip. The recent last couple months by the dip. Until it's not. That's the problem. Until it's not by the dip anymore. And I don't know when that starts. Look at that candle on AMD. This one was absolutely wild. AMD was absolutely wild. This was we got up to 227.20. We were up about 7% on the day. Not only did we not hold that 7%, but we actually ended down on the day. Was this what, 2%, something like that? And we do have a little bit of a gap down as well. This is a big major reversal candle with huge volume. Again, does this mean that we're going to see 120 again, 100 again, $89? I don't think so. At least not anytime soon. But here's your support. Again, I'd probably be a little more interested in fading this one higher. And then I would just be looking to short as soon as we get up there. The short gives me great risk reward. We got some support here. So target to the higher side on this one. I'd be looking for about 208. So we get about $5 move northbound. I don't think that's my spot to short. I'd want to see this come up a little bit higher into like 208.90, 209. And then I think we get better risk to reward trying to short a stock that's been an absolute monster. So we'll see. What was the other one? MicroStrategy. I think that was moving a little bit today. I think they also purchased, it was like some crazy amount of Bitcoin. So they're getting a gap up as well. This one probably looks a little bit more like a fade to me. I'm going to try it, which is MSTR. Yeah, Bitcoin virtual demand says it's going nuts. Yeah, new highs this morning. So again, at least this space is still strong, still bullish. So we just got another pop there too. So it's continuing to look strong. What's impressive on this one is this candle was out pushed to all-time highs. This was the one everybody had their sights on. We got above that 69, and then within 30 minutes, an hour, we dropped about $4,000. Something crazy. So big drop on this one. Right after we hit that all-time highs, the impressive part of this one is we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is day number 6. It took us 6 days. We still held all that level. We still got really good volume from this kind of sell-off and a little bit of a mini panic session. So this one is still looking really strong to continue higher. If we get some kind of pullbacks, I think now support has to be somewhere around 68.541. But I mean that looks like we have a little bit more to go, to say the least, in terms of bullishness with the amount of volume immediately getting taken out from this candle. So I do like everything in the crypto space still to continue to rise. Let's see if there's any other tickers. Did I miss any? Nope. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. See if that one wants to come in. And if you guys still got 2 more minutes, if there's any other tickers, let me know. Tesla still looks incredibly weak. Not a great open for this one. If you get bid up at the morning opening bell, look for 175.77 as some kind of reversal spot. If you're trying to go long, I can make the case where if you're throwing your stops 173.65, pretty much under this candle, that gives you good risk reward to go bullish. However, it looks like we're still trending down. We're actually below Friday's VPOC as well. Jason wants to take a look at EOLS. Really nice hammer on Friday. That shows some buying interest. That's a nice little trap too, getting underneath that pivot. Good gap up today. Earnings came out. Looks like they missed on earnings per share, but they did come in with $806,000 beat. I guess this is a much smaller company. I'm not really sure what the company does. Health technology, pharmaceuticals. This isn't the Ozempic drug, right? I don't think so. Big key thing. I don't have time to do it, but check the short float on it. Targets on this one, if it continues to go 16.15, you're still gonna have one more little spot of resistance in the way though before you get there. 15.35. Once we start breaking that 15.35, we should have a lot of free space to move on that one. So I kind of like that. Dell does not look great. Actually, that looks like a great short. Again, see if we get an opening candle, especially green high wave indecision candle. Dell looks like a tremendous short, but that is the opening bell. There's your little green already flashing on Dell, so that looks decent. Otherwise, everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Share the content with a friend if you find somebody that you could deem is like, man, this person probably he could use some information. I like it.